everyone, welcome back to Liz Sews and my May Makes video. I think I got everything done this month that I had planned out to do in the beginning of the month, so that is a huge plus for me. The first thing that I wanted to show you guys is a bra. So I made this bra using my modified Harriet pattern. If you're interested in learning how to make the Harriet bra, I'll pop up a link to a tutorial over here. So I used sheer black tricot for this, and I got that from Bra Builders. So Bra Builders is what used to be Bravo Bella Bras. This is the first time I've ordered from them since they've changed ownership, and really happy with the quality of the fabrics that I got from them. The only thing I'd say is that I don't like their power net as much now as they used to. So it's a little bit difficult to show you this sheer bra, so I'll try to pop up a picture over here. You can see that the cups and everything are sheer black, and then a black lace top to the cup. So I really like how this turned out, and I definitely am going to make more of these. I have a lot of sheer bras, but I don't have any sheer bras with lace, so this is my first time adding lace into the mix, and I think it turned out really well. So that's what I think I'm going to make some more of. And then the next thing that I made was I made a tester bra for my mom. So I used the Maya bra pattern, and that's actually a free bra pattern, so I'll link that down in the description below. However, I'm going to say with the caveat that it's not very beginner friendly, because there's some instructions, but there's not full instructions for it. So you kind of really need to know bra construction before you would tackle the Maya pattern. But I thought that was a good one to try just for the tester, because I wasn't really sure what size to use, and so this way it would give me an opportunity to size up and down no matter what. I didn't have to worry about the size not being included in the pattern. So I made this up in a 44F, I want to say, 44F. And so obviously I made this and shipped it to my mom so she could try it on. So through the power of time travel, I will just insert a clip now showing you the bra that I made before I shipped it out.
So here is round one. So it's just the muslin of the bra for my mother. I just ended up using a bunch of different bits and pieces that I had. So I had leftover Duoplex from doing both a nude bra and a blue bra. So I used that just because I know that she has purchased Duoplex, and so that's going to be like a similar fabric to what she's going to be using. And then I just used some purple power net in the back because this was the firmest one that I had. And then, you know, just mismatched findings, because it doesn't really matter. It's just for testing fit. One thing I wanted to show you is that you can see I just pieced together different pieces of band elastic for the bottom. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah. So I just pieced together different lengths of band elastic for the bottom, which it's perfectly fine to do if you're doing a tester bra like this. So whenever I'm making a bra, I always save whatever leftover bits and pieces I had, because I know I can do stuff like this, just to get an idea of the fit. So all I do is a really tight zigzag stitch across that seam to make sure that it holds nice and firm, and it should be fine. But these are all like the same width of elastic. And then I left the underwire casing open so she can just take the wires in and out to test fit. So I'm going to get this enough to my mom and see how she likes it.
So that tester did not turn out so well. I learned a lot of things about what I needed to do to fit her properly, and we're definitely going to go back to the drawing board and pick some different sized wires. I think I'm going to go with a vertical wire. I had done what I had normally do for my bras, which she thought she might need, which was to make a wide root adjustment, but I think we're actually going to have to do the opposite and do like an omega adjustment, so making it narrower instead of wider. So it is by no means finished, obviously. We're gonna go back to the drawing board, do some other tweaks with the pattern, but we'll get there. I never expected the first one to fit perfectly, and now that I can see it on her, I know what changes need to be made to move forward. So moving on to clothes, I know in my May plans video, I showed you this beautiful fabric that I got from Minerva Crafts for a blog post, and it is the Lady McElroy Beauty and the Bee print, and this is in a cotton lawn. First time using cotton lawn. I think it's super lovely. I love how light and ethereal it is, but it's still opaque enough that you can't see through it or anything like that. So I think it's going to be great in the summer. I asked you which pattern I should make, and based on the feedback that I got from that, I went ahead and made the McCall's 6696. So I've used view B, pretty straight. I think there's no changes that I made to it other than lengthening the bodice and did a sway back adjustment. But other than that, I made view B exactly as written. Very happy with how this turned out. I've made the 6696 5 or 6 times now, so obviously I'm familiar with the pattern. I knew it was going to work and everything like that. I haven't made it in a while, and I just forgot how great of a pattern it is. I actually sized up on this. I did a 14. Normally I make a 12 in it. The 12s still fit me, but they just feel a little bit constricting, and I thought, you know, for nice summery fabric, it might be nice to have just a little bit more ease and movement in it. So I did do a 14. It is a little big around my waist, but I would, like, when I took photographs with it, here I'll pop in some photographs. So when I took photos for Minerva Crafts, I did wear it with a belt just to give me a little bit more defined waist, but I don't think it necessarily needs a belt. It's still really comfortable. So very happy with the fit on this one, and yeah, happy how it turned out. Now, as I said, I had given you 2 choices of patterns, this 6696, and the other option was a McCall's 7387 tunic. And most people said they wanted the shirt dress, so I made the shirt dress. But then once I finished, I realized that I had enough fabric left over to do the shirt as well. So that is exactly what I did. And here we have the shirt. So like I said, it is McCall's 7387, and I have done view A, which is just the tunic. One of the reasons why I wanted to use this pattern is just because it has a really wide back panel, and I thought that would give a lot of like uninterrupted seams to let this fabric really show off. One thing that I didn't love about this fabric is just that it wasn't printed on grain, which was super surprising to me. I think Lady McElroy fabrics are not cheap, right? They're $17, $20 a yard. So like the fact that it wasn't printed on grain was really frustrating. It meant that I couldn't mirror for both the shirt dress and this dress. I couldn't really accurately mirror the sides because like the bees, they're bees, but I think they look like flies. They're going on a slight slant down, so there was no way to mirror that because on one side it would be up here and then it would come down. So that was a little frustrating and something I thought should have been better for the fabric. It's in no way a comment on Minerva Crafts. It really has more to do, I think, with Lady McElroy and their quality control of making a fabric that is printed correctly. Other than that slight little hiccup, I'm super enthusiastic about both of the garments that I made with this fabric. And I've actually worn this shirt more often than I've worn the dress this month, just because it's a nice, easy thing to throw on with some jeans or capris and just run out the door. So the next item that I made is the shirt. This is a hack off of the Sewaholic Renfrew pattern. I used a tutorial online of how to turn it into a raglan sleeve because I wanted to have this sort of like contrasting olivey green with this taupe cactus print. It didn't do the best job. I think there's still something funny happening up here. This doesn't like sit great. And a lot of you guys sent me pattern suggestions for doing a raglan top. So I think that if I ever experiment with that again, I'll definitely use a drafted pattern instead of trying to like make it into a raglan myself, just because I think there's some wonkiness going on with it. Despite that, I still think it, you know, it looks pretty good. It's got I think it comes too narrow up here, and I wish I had done the scoop neck instead of the V-neck version. I was being lazy because my scoop neck I had accidentally cut up for a project and I need to like retrace it again. So I didn't feel like retracing the pattern, and so I just used the one that I had, which was the V-neck, and didn't turn out as well as I would have hoped. I sound really negative about this. I haven't worn this shirt out yet, but it is a nice brushed cotton, so it's very soft and silky. It's probably something that's gonna be more relegated to like sleepwear than going out in. But you know, it was a nice experiment to try, and I do really like how the green and the taupe cactus go together. So, you know, silver lining. I can't say that I completely hate it, but there are definitely some things I like and some things that I would change for next time. The last item that I have to show you is sort of a hack of two different patterns. I know in my plants video I said I wanted to make this out of McCall's 7925, and I was going to go for view C, which it's just a button-up 3-tiered skirt with flutter sleeves. However, when the fabric finally came in, now this is fabric that I got from Minerva Crafts, I want to say a month and a half ago was when I requested it, but like it took a really long time to get in. But when it came, it's a stone washed linen, but it was a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be for some reason. So I wasn't really feeling that pattern anymore. So what I did is I actually used that 3-tiered skirt, and then I put it on top of this Butterick 6453 bodice. This is a bodice that I've used quite frequently. It's a good just like standard princess seam bodice for me. In order to hack the skirt up on this, obviously because this is a button front like shirtwaist style dress, I actually didn't, all I did is I cut the front pieces on the fold instead of cutting 2, and then I got 2 of the back piece instead of putting that on the fold. That way I can insert a zipper down the back of the dress. So it was a fairly easy thing to do. The other thing that I did different is they have you cut out 6 panels of the bottom tier of the ruffle. I ended up cutting out 4 panels on the fold. So it would have been the equivalent of like 8 panels. That way it was double the length of the tier above it because I really wanted that extra fullness in it. And then the last thing that I did that made this dress a little bit extra special is some of the stitching. So I had mentioned that I wanted to use some different stitches that I had on my machine to sort of add a little bit of interest to the skirt. So I did that. Let's see if I can show you right here. So you can see I have double lines of the stitching above each tier of the circle, as well as each tier of the skirt, and then a single line along the top of the tiered sections of the skirt. Now I used an embroidery thread in like this baby blue color because it was, I don't know why I had this like something blue stuck in my head, and I like how it turns out. It's really subtle. I wish it was a little bit more obvious, but it is a nice little sweet detail that I see, or if somebody is like looking at it really closely they'll see, but it's just not necessarily something that's gonna like stand out and be really in your face. I will say it took me forever to put that stitching detail in because, as you can imagine, I went around twice. The bottom tier was like 10 feet long, so I did 20 feet of stitching along there, and then another 10 feet of stitching to do twice along the second tier, and then once along the top tier. Like, just to give you an idea of how long it took to put the embroidery in, my machine started getting hot. Like the bobbin casing was warm to the touch, and so I was like, okay, gotta pause and take a little break on this, and I don't want to break my machine. But I'm really happy with how this dress turned out. It has a very like prairie vibe to it. It's white, so I'm not going to wear it super often because I am very clumsy and accident prone, and I know I'm going to get stuff all over it, but I think it's a really sweet dress, and I can't wait to see where I do wear it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed everything that I've made in the month of May, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.